I like to draw that relationship that a lot of people don't recognize or don't really think about all the time, and that's that unique relationship that art contributes in our athletic world, and how athletics contributes to art, and how they pair together, and how we move those kind of those events along together. Every major competition in the world has an expression of art going along with it. So that's a great combination, a great symbiotic relationship that I think we probably should spend more time trying to celebrate, amongst all the other things art contributes to a community, to a region, and to our nation.
It's like in every community. I mean, the arts are a way for us to express ourselves, a way for us to be who we are, and to, really part of the air that we breathe. So, I mean, we've come alive as a community now in our artistic activity, in terms of writing and filmmaking and plays and music and everything that's going on around us. But I think the thing that's exciting is that more and more people, individuals, are understanding that they too can participate, they too can play an instrument, they too can write, they too can be part of this way of expressing yourself.
In a way, it tells us stories about ourselves, but it also, I think, causes us to look into the heart and mind of someone else. We're seeing someone else's creation. Very often, we see from that we can identify with it, that we have similar frustrations or concerns or worries as they do, or we see something unique about this person that's interesting, and that I think, it enriches us.
You can't talk about the future of Canada and the future of the Canadian economy without having the arts and art central to that conversation.
It's for the human soul, but it also is now, it's also a very viable industry in our country and in the world. And I know cutbacks have happened, but they should never happen to the point where we aren't, in Canada, becoming a leader in the world in our arts work.
Visiting other countries and seeing how other countries put their art on display and spent more public money to put their art on display, more so than Canada. And I think that was a lesson for me. And I thought that, going back to Newfoundland and Labrador and Canada, I thought, we should be spending more money to put our art, and by extension our artists, on display.
I think the biggest mistake we make is thinking that artistic activity is somehow, it's a few people do it and it's just kind of a frill. But I think if you go into a school today, or you go into any community, you'll find it's one of the biggest ways in which people are allowed and able to express themselves.
To me, art is life. Yes, and then there's the rest of it.
I had the privilege of being in the theater when Oscar Peterson played his first concert after he'd had a stroke, when he came back and started coming back and playing again. And it was very moving, because he was not well, but he couldn't play much with his left hand, but he could play unbelievably well with his right hand.
My childhood memories of Ted Harrison paintings growing up, and the colors and the brightness that he splashed across our territory, or whether that came in the form of a Robert Service poem.
Watching Nureyev dance at Covent Garden in London when I was a 20-year-old, and then meeting and watching Margot Fontaine dance her last dance.
I don't know, I remember riding a bus in Scarborough, reading Timothy Finley's The Wars, and missing my stop by several kilometers.
My art teacher from junior high, she was brilliant at doing sculptures, whether it was paper mache or wood or anything else. And then she used to do snow sculptures. And I was always fascinated how people can make like a human being or an animal out of an inanimate object.
When I was in my early 20s, I was at university, and my roommate, shared an apartment, was receiving, month by month, the Time Life Library of Photography. And I probably spent more time reading those books than I should have, instead of reading my law books at that time. But I loved it.